It's high school football here on WOSN. Tonight's pregame is sponsored by Lima Chevrolet Cadillac, the area's premier Chevrolet and Cadillac dealer in the greater Lima area, serving Lima for over 100 years. We are proud to call this home. We are at the home of the Marion Local Flyers. Booster Stadium is the site for tonight's MAC Championship. It's Coldwater. It's Marion Local. Patrick Hamler, Garrett Mansfield here with you. You don't really need to say anything else. It's Marion Local and it's Coldwater tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. Good to be here. Good to be down to see these two programs. Really two of the storied programs in the entire state of Ohio, and a lot of eyes going to be on this one tonight. Obviously, the MAC implications, as you already brought in, two teams firmly into the postseason that begins already next week, but as rivalry games go, this is already going to give us everything that we can hope for.
Championship implications, pride on the line as well here at Booster Stadium tonight. We're going to get into this one. We are just starting. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Lima Chevrolet Cadillac keys to the game. Stick around. High school football on the way here on WOSN. Back at Booster Stadium as we bring you the Lima Chevrolet Cadillac keys to the game. And Garrett, as we take a look at both teams, the keys are pretty simple and straightforward for both sides.
Yeah, they are. Both teams are taking care of business all season long, 9-0, 7-0 in the MAC, each of them respectively. So when it comes to things to be played for, we already mentioned that in the first segment here, and that's a lot of the pride. That is the rivalry. That is obviously the MAC championship game, so it comes down to this. We had some weather coming in, might be some in the area, so ball security on a night like this is going to be paramount, and who can win, obviously, in the trenches. Very easy, very simple. Winning high school football game mentality here tonight when it comes to who's going to get out of here, play clean, and ball security is number one. Number two, we said both teams already in the postseason playing for next week, so you want to get out of here healthy. You want to be out of here ready to go to your respective divisions after this week to start taking on the charge of winning another state championship game, because that's what both of these schools are aimed at after tonight. Obviously, task at hand, thinking ahead just a little bit from our perspective, because we're fans, we're here, we can do that. Maybe not the guys under the shells here tonight, but that's going to be one a lot of people are looking out for. And finally, give us a show, not necessarily saying, okay, give us a good game. We're here for a good game, but let's get down to it. Let's play some football.
Those are your Lima Chevrolet Cadillac keys to the game. Of course, Marion Local looking to keep their 41-game winning streak alive, currently longest in the state of Ohio. For Coldwater, an opportunity for their first outright MAC championship since 2015. Oh, by the way, that was the year they ended Marion Local's then 43-game winning streak, something the Flyer faithful probably don't want to hear very much about in this one. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff here between Coldwater and Marion Local here on WOSN. Welcome back to Booster Stadium. Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by Holman Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. The starters for Marion Local being announced on the field, and it has been a cool, rainy afternoon heading into the evening so far. The field looks to be in terrific shape, Garrett Mansfield, but no doubt that the wet conditions, and I think there's going to be rain all throughout the evening on and off, will probably have some effect on this play tonight.
Oh, certainly, Patrick, and look at two teams that run the ball so well. You know, it's going to turn into maybe a slippery pigskin. We hit that first key to the game tonight was ball security, and sometimes those kinds of plays will swing the pendulum back and forth, so we'll keep an eye on that as play develops. And, you know, it seems to be that this has been some of the system today, weather-wise, that it just kind of sticks around and regroups and comes right back at us, but we'll keep an eye on it as Coldwater takes the field.
Both teams having to navigate wet conditions last week and, of course, ending up in wins. Coldwater having to fight a little bit to get a win over Versailles. Versailles a very good football team and probably a team that we'll be talking about as we start looking at state championship football here in just a few weeks. Marion Local with a solid win last week as well. So Coldwater, Marion Local, and you have to wonder if maybe having that tough game last week maybe gives the Cavaliers maybe a little bit of an edge as opposed to Marion Local, who for the most part, and Tim Goodwin doesn't want me to say this, but coasted somewhat due to their big victory last week.
Yeah, that Versailles team is the common denominator, Patrick. You look at the resumes of both teams. That's one team that gave both of them fits. Both came out on top. Both are in position now to have this essential MAC championship game. Winner takes all for the Week 10 battle here, along with the rivalry. All other things on the line as we'll get on throughout the night. But those are the one team that gave both teams a test, and that was Versailles, and one score contest, and they're not a whole lot to look at when you look at both teams with the results that they've had.
And a credit to Ryan Jones of Versailles. Those were both very winnable games for the Tigers. It just kind of came down to execution in various facets of the game. And as you said, they were one-possession games, and they were both very tough contests. But here we are, Marion Local and Coldwater. The Cavaliers will receive the football first, and that one is going to trickle into the end zone. So the Cavaliers will get started first on offense as Balin Blockberger will lead the offense out, the 6'1", 165-pound junior who is on the cusp of passing for 2,000 yards this season.
Yeah, he threw 25 scores, 8 interceptions, and then, by the way, 3 more rushing touchdowns in there. Really good package there for Coldwater.
So the Cavaliers coming out, and one of the things they like to do, you mentioned about the running attack for Coldwater, for both teams really, but Cavaliers on offense, and they really have a 3-headed monster that they like to bring out at you. It'll be interesting to see kind of who takes the lead on that. Last week it was Jack Ebbing, who has 222 yards this season. We'll see who they come out with here on 1st and 10, and it looks like it is going to be Jack Ebbing once again getting across the 30 to the 32-yard line for a Layfeld first down.
That didn't take long, did it? Little slip off to the right side, hit that first gap, and off to the races, move the chains on the first play. And that's a tone setter right there, Patrick. We'll see how Marion Local responds. Two teams very, very strong defensively. Marion Local only surrenders a little over 8 points a contest, and now Coldwater going to show their versatility by spreading out.
See what they decide to do here on first down. Of course, not shy about throwing the football, and this is going to be a handoff going right up the middle. Cody Depwig out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. He's going to pick up about 7 on that play.
Look at the Lee's replay, and a nice hole off the left side. Nice little dive play off of the spread offensive look.
I think Lee's famous recipe for that replay. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. Coming up for the Cavaliers, and really, that's what you wanted. You got another quick plays. You got a first down on your first play, 6 yards on a second play so far. Off to a great start here.
You're thinking about points early on for Coldwater.
Ebbing with the carry on 2nd down and 4, and the Flyer defense is there, and bunches a number of guys in there on the stop for Marion Local.
Really good job staying home by the Flyers defensively, just getting around the edge. You're starting to see some of the lateral speed, and we talked about the ball, with the weather, ball security, but maybe the footing is another thing to take into account here with a slick surface.
Landon Arling among the Flyers and on the stop. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Cavaliers. Opportunity for the Flyer defense to get off the field. Can the Cavaliers keep their drive going right up the field? Miles Potcotter not able to get the requisite yardage. Looks like Drew Louse might have been in there first on the stop. Here's the Lee's famous replay.
It was indeed Louse. See him coming in there off his left side of the defensive end. Made quick contact, but see if there's a decision to be made by Coach Otten here on 4th and short.
And I wonder if looks like they're going to take a timeout and maybe measure this just to kind of see exactly what we're looking at. It does appear to be short from where we're standing, Garrett, but they want to find out maybe exactly how much they need to get before they decide what to do on 4th down.
Yeah, it certainly isn't by much, and given the results of the first handful of plays here for Coldwater, they've been able to get forward progress in just about everything. Let's see as they stretch it out. The Coldwater fans on the far side seem happy, but that doesn't last very long. You see just barely short.
About half a foot, it looks like, and I mean half a referee's foot, at least from this vantage point. So it's not far to get there. And as you mentioned, they had gotten a lot of penetration in that line. That last play was really the first time the Flyers defense has been able to bow up and get a stop, not really behind the line, but at least at the line of scrimmage.
Going to get a quick sub. Bryant Myers sent into the defensive side for Marion Local.
4th down and half a foot for the Cavaliers. Up the middle, and this one is going to be close.
I think he got there.
They're going to mark it. That's a Layfeld first down.
Great penetration by the Flyer defense. Landon Arling might have got in there for the hit, but the low man wins in every situation like that, and Coldwater was able to push it just enough, pick up a fresh set of downs.
The official having a little trouble with the football there. Might be a little bit of an indication how slippery the football is. Something to keep an eye on as we advance. Fresh set of downs for the Cavaliers. Now, Blockberger going to the air, looking sideline. The pass is incomplete.
He caught it
off to the side. A.J. Harlemert, the intended receiver.
Let's take a look at it again. A great play call for Coldwater. Go to the ground the entire first 5 plays of the game and then take a deep shot. You found your man down there along the sideline, just ran out of real estate. Leading receiver for Coldwater. He has almost half of the Blockberger yardage this year, A.J. Harlemert, 745 yards.
10 scores also for the 5'10 senior. Now second down and 10 for Coldwater. Flyers bring for Blockberger across the middle. Pass complete. Incomplete. Looks like he dropped it.
Had to be held onto.
No, they're going to say he did catch it. I thought he didn't hang on to it. That is going to be a Layfield first down for the Cavaliers.
Elander got in there, secured it, and into Flyer territory.
5'10", 170-pound junior making the catch. And now the Cavaliers in plus territory. Ball moving, 8:53 left to play in the first quarter here on the Home and Insurance scoreboard. And hand off to Ebbing, and Ebbing is tripped up around the line of scrimmage. Picks up about 3 yards on that carry.
Had a nice hole to run through, just kind of tripped up over maybe a lineman's shoe or something like that. But it looked like Ebbing was going to have room to run. You have good size on that side of the Coldwater offensive line. Will Berry at left tackle, 6'3", 210. Also have Tyler Jones along that line, 6'3", 215.
Coming up second down and 8. Blockberger with time. Screen pass out to Ebbing. Ebbing out across the 35 down to the 33. He picks up a couple yards there.
You know, on the defensive side, Patrick, this is what makes Marion Local so good. It's one of their secret sauces here. You have a guy miss out on the flat, but you're not going to have a whole lot of room to make something out of it because you have a couple more yellow helmets coming at you and dropping you after a short gain. So now it's 3rd and long for Coldwater after some big positive plays. See if they can keep the momentum going here or if it's a bend-don't-break opportunity for the Flyer D.
Man in motion on 3rd and 7. Blockberger, quick pass looking to the sideline, and the catch is going to be made. But it's going to be about a couple of yards short of the first down. Here's the Lee's replay.
It looks like Mason Welsh over there. Nice, sure hands. And the positive there is that cuts that down a distance down inside the 30. And now this is very much a go for it 4th down. You're kind of in a weird spot. You're going into the wind. Definitely too far to even try a field goal. And then with all the other factors for Coldwater. So a 4th and 2. You already converted 1 on this drive. It's the 11th play of it. And go ahead and roll them again.
At the 28, 4th and 2. Handoff right up the middle and gets that second effort and might have it. It's going to be close. Here's looking to look at it.
It is going to come down to the second effort here, Patrick. But good penetration. Laws got in there. And it's going to be Flyer football by the time they measure it out.
Turnover on downs for Marion Local. So the Flyers defense stiffens up. A second attempt at a 4th down does not pay off for the Cavalier offense. So now Marion Local will start for the first time on offense. They'll spot the ball at the 27-yard line. And now Justin Knopf, the 6'1", 175-pound junior, will lead the Flyer attack out on the field for the first time tonight.
So there it definitely was bend don't break for the Flyers. Can that defense turn into offense as they have Coldwater out of sequence?
Knopf back to pass. And they're going to go long on their first play and pass incomplete. Vic Holscher, the intended receiver on that play, as Gavin Zybrida was in on the coverage.
Yeah, good thought first play. Go ahead and take a shot. This is an offense for Marion Local that favors the run. About 210 and 154, respectively, the averages on the year.
Knopf, more of a running quarterback than Blockberger, almost 500 yards rushing on the season for the junior. And second down and 10 is a pitch. And the ball comes out. We'll see who got it. Coldwater was there. There was a Coldwater player there. We'll see if they got it. And I don't think they did.
You see that Coldwater side of the field erupted right after that play ended. Looks like it's going to be Marion Local ball.
So they will retain possession and also get a Layfeld first down out of it. You don't have that happen every day on a fumble, so far things are going the Flyers' way. That was Kyle Audie in on the carry for Marion Local.
This gets him up ahead to the 37. Back to the gun.
First and 10. Pitch going out. Drew Louse looking for that near side and not getting much of anything. A yard, if that.
That does go as a pass. Little pitch forward. Louse will get credit for about a yard reception there. Being generous. The down and distance marker is just barely ahead of where the original line of scrimmage was.
So they're saying second and 10. It's second and maybe 9.5. In any case, second down. Coldwater brings pressure. Knopf with the keeper. Tried to get it stripped away, but instead hangs on to it. It gets across midfield to the 50 to the 49-yard line. Good for a Layfeld first down.
Yeah, this is a strong run. You see Welsh get in there trying to rip that ball out. He might have thought he had a good chance to pry the football away. Ends up leading to about 6 or 7 more yards for Justin Off.
I'm sure Coldwater head coach Chip Otten says, hey, if you're going to do that, you need to wrap up the guy if you can't force the fumble. Ball in midfield for the Flyers, first and 10, 5:36 remaining in the first quarter. No score so far on the home scoreboard. Knopf with the keeper once again met at the 50-yard line and goes no further as a host of Cavaliers in on the stop.
This will start with Jack Ebbing and then gets some help finishing him off. Short gain and ball it'll stay there at midfield for Marion Local.
So actually got that passed up a little bit here. 5:04 remaining here in the structure first quarter. No score between the Flyers and the Cavaliers. But Marion Local looking to change that. Second and 10. Here's the handoff to Louse. Louse shakes off a couple of tacklers. Gets on and stays on his feet all the way out to the 40 to the 39-yard line. It looks like he is going to have enough for another Layfeld first down.
Yeah, got through that initial contact, kept the legs churning. Looked like Pot Cutter in the backfield for Coldwater had that initial contact.
So it looks like they're going to stop and measure.
A little bit of a Coldwater-friendly spot there after Louse was tackled.
I was going to say, I thought he was at least past the 40 when they spotted that football right on the 40.
Might be a little bit more slipping and sliding down there than we are able to see up here, but it's going to be enough for that first down.
In any case, they do move the sticks, so the Flyers keep the offense going. A consistent mist, maybe a little bit more than a mist. A light rain. I don't know where the difference is between a mist and a light rain. It all feels wet, and after about an hour, you're possibly miserable, especially if you're not wearing a coat. But that continues to fall here at Booster Stadium. A lot of fans bundled up. A full house here. Knopf having problems with the snap. Tried to throw the football and lost it. And it looks like he was able to hang on to it. We take a look at the Lee's replay.
It's the second time the football has slipped out for Marion Local. And Knopf just fortunate that ball did not squirt away any further, because he had 2 Cavaliers draped around him ready to take the football away.
That's the second fumble on this drive for Marion Local. Fortunately for the Flyers, they have recovered both of them. That's going to be a loss of 5 on that down. Second down and 15 coming up for Marion Local.
Yeah, here's the 8th play of the possession as Marion Local goes back to the gun. They're not going to be afraid, Patrick, to switch up the formations and the looks here despite the rain coming down.
And Knopf tucking and running in trouble, and it's going to be brought down. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. I know Ebbing was in there on the pressure as well.
And it's a big-time play by this Coldwater defense. They've got Marion Local behind the sticks, and that helps them here on 3rd down and long. Flyers got to break the 30 to move the chains here, and you do have the wind at your back, so if you're forced to punt here, you can really pin Coldwater deep. So there's productive plays. They talk about productive outs in baseball. There's productive plays you can have here on 3rd and 4th down for Marion Local.
Let's see how productive Marion Local can be here. 3rd and 15. Knopf back to pass. Pressure coming right side. Knopf dumps it off. Pass is complete. Holscher gets it complete across the 30. Shy of the 30. They say about the 31-yard line. So he's going to be short of a first down. And now 4th down decision coming up for head coach Tim Goodwin.
Yeah, that was certainly more of a productive 3rd down than I was expecting, and that's enough to move the chains for the Layfeld first down. But you look at what Marion Local is able to do right now through the air, something they're not really. I would say it's not their huge strength, but they can certainly move the football doing that. And Knopf certainly helping engineer this drive, and it's double digits in plays already.
1st and 10. Knopf. Holscher on the completion. And nice spin move, diving out to the 20-yard line, around the 21-yard line. So he picked up about 9 on that play.
And that just started with the misdirection. The play action, looking at a tailback heading to the right, and just that quick flip around, had the formation open. Holscher, the wide receiver, in the flat, ready for it. Good timing all around. Good football play for the Flyers.
Credit to Knopf. That a couple plays ago had the ball slip as he was trying to throw it. Has come back to the pass game a couple of times and has made completion. So credit to the young man and credit to the coaching staff for still wanting to work that in and getting yards on it. Now 2nd down and 1. Whole playbook open here for the Flyers. Let's see what they decide to do at the 21-yard line. Knopf is going to keep it, but this one is going to be blown dead as a flag is thrown at the 30-yard line.
It's going to be the first infraction for either team. Going to back up the Flyers off of a 2nd and 1.
So it'll be a full start Marion Local, so a 2nd and 1 becomes a 2nd and 6. Flyers approaching the Wright State Lake Campus red zone. It'll be the first time a team has set foot into the red zone tonight, if that does happen.
Coldwater certainly knocked on the door before turning it over on downs. Fast-paced first quarter.
Indeed. Now Knopf keeps it, goes right up the middle, past the 20 to the 19-yard line. Good for a Layfeld first down. And that will put them in the Wright State Lake Campus red zone.
And it's a great hole for Knopf to run through. He was patient, wasn't really trying to speed his way through anywhere, trusting his blocking. Follows the way for a first down. And now the Flyers certainly threatening here and not in any real big hurry before the quarter. They know that they got to outlast this thing for all 4 periods tonight.
Both teams with 1 drive apiece. Marion Local still on their first. Now Knopf rolling off. Pass is complete. Into the flat to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Ethan Heitkamp taking it from 18 yards out for an innovative Office Solutions touchdown.
The misdirection earlier, couple plays to the other side to the left, and this time Marion Local comes back to the right and virtually nobody home. And Heitkamp does the rest of the work. Turned upfield, had plenty of green grass ahead. That'll crack the scoreboard first.
Heitkamp's 2nd receiving touchdown of the season puts Marion Local on top 6-0 with the Coldwater Lumber extra point forthcoming. Carson Bills in to attempt the extra point.
36 makes this year.
And the kick is up. And it is good. 58 seconds remaining here in the structure first quarter. It's 7-0. Marion Local on top of Coldwater. We'll be back. Tonight's instant replay is brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens. 7-0. Marion Local on top of the Coldwater Cavaliers. Coming off the turnover on downs, Marion Local leading an impressive drive, Garrett.
Yeah, it took 14 plays and almost 7 full minutes off the clock. Ends in a 73-yard touchdown drive, capped on the 18-yard score. Off to Heitkamp, and Marion Local with a 7-0 lead after the 37th extra point made by Bills this year.
I mentioned that was Heitkamp's second touchdown. That was only his third catch of the season, so not a guy that sees a lot of opportunities. I'm sorry, in the receiving aspect of Marion Local's offense, he gets a lot of rushes. He's their leading rusher as far as attempts, but able to catch the touchdown that time. And now Coldwater thinking about the lateral, and that one getting to the 15-yard line and no more. So the Cavaliers pinned a little deep here for their second drive of the game.
Yeah, already get punched going down 7-0, and then on the ensuing kickoff, pinned back a little bit. But here, if you're Coldwater, it's nothing overcomplicated, not a situation they haven't been able to been in the last many, many years. Sure that there's a slow heartbeat for Coach Otten at this time of the football game. Get his offense out there, pin their ears back, and put together a drive off the success your offense had the last time out.
So now a first down and 10. Starting the second drive as Ebbing gets the ball, working that far side, and about to the 20. And that is all.
Been able to get some good first down yardage through their first possession here, and we'll see if that's going to be the last play of the quarter. Coldwater does not have to run another. They might wait this one out and wait till they have the win at their backs, maybe dial up the pass play at the end of the quarter break, but they break and they're headed for the sideline.
That is going to do it for this first quarter of action here from Booster Stadium. The Flyers, the home team, with a 7-0 lead. Second quarter action coming up when we come back here on WOSN. Welcome back. Tonight's presenting sponsor is the People's Bank. We are invested in the communities we serve. Your bank, your way. The People's Bank. Second quarter here, the structure is second quarter, and it's Marion Local 7. Coldwater, nothing. Patrick Kamler, Garrett Mansfield here with you. And so far, it's been your, typical Marion Local Coldwater game.
Yes, it has. And you throw the weather element into it as well. That just sweetens the meal we have in front of us, doesn't it? And so far, so good. Very good football here early on.
Second down and 5 for Coldwater at the 20-yard line. And Blockberger swings it out to Harlemert. Pass is complete. Has a Layfeld first down as he gets out across the 30-yard line.
Great piece of receiving there for Harlemert. Looked like he had it on his fingertips. Able to pull that one in, and I'll tell you what, able to go from, are you sure you're going to catch that football, to being in the traffic he was, turning it upfield for 7 or 8 for a fresh set of downs.
Ball moved out to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. Play action, Blockberger with time, buying some time with his legs. Checks down, goes right to the middle. Hard alert, pass is incomplete. Was right there, and couldn't bring it in. Landon Arling delivering a heck of a hit there, right at what would have been a first down for the Cavaliers.
And so many things on that play, Patrick. It shows the caliber of the football teams we're seeing. You had good time, you had good blocking. Even after the scramble, the pocket held up, or at least the space to throw held up for the quarterback. Blockberger delivered a great throw on the run, but then the coverage was there. So you had all of that together on one play. Landon Arling with the BPU.
2nd and 10. And handoff and going absolutely nowhere. Stopped in the backfield is number 58 getting back there for Wyatt Greenwood for Marion Local for the tackle for loss.
And that just kind of pours some water on the fire a little bit. If you're Coldwater, you move the ball pretty well. Your first possession, you're looking for that play to get right back into things after the first down just a couple plays ago. But now you're behind the sticks on a 3rd down and long with some rain coming down, and spread it right back out.
And also maybe a little more gun shy about going forward on 4th down, depending on what that yardage looks like. Here's Blockberger on 3rd down, strike across the middle and complete to the 45-yard line. As bringing that in is Ethan Elander, the junior.
Man, he just sat back there and let that thing rip over the middle, just like those two had it drawn up, and there was no defense out there. That looked like a practice pass. Blockberger just couple 2-3-step drop and slung it over the middle, perfectly timed, right down the gut for a first down.
Pitch and catch for that Layfeld first down, and Coldwater had some success last week with guys going up the middle. Braylon Harlemer, A.J. Harlemer, going on the sidelines, and Marion Local obviously saw that, thought probably some opportunities in the soft part in the middle of the defense if they can get there. This is Blockberger with the carry, spun around and dropped for a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, that was Kyle Unrow in the backfield, getting around the shoestrings, just did not let Blockberger escape. Had him around that right calf and still able to spin him down. And 2 9-0 football teams, Patrick. So far you're seeing punch for punch so far, and that's what is so fun here early on in this football game. Coldwater, 3rd down and long converted, and we continue to see each team respond with what the other does before.
Ball on the 43 here, 2nd and 12. Blockberger, play action. Running to buy some time, and is going to tuck and run, and gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe an additional yard before he has brought down Simon Partington in there on the stop for Marion Local.
And just had that edge sealed off, continue to push the block all the way almost from the hash outside the numbers and near the sideline to allow Blockberger to get a few yards. Good decision there. Saw the coverage had everybody sealed up down the field, and here we are, another 3rd and long facing the Cavaliers.
Indeed, it's 3rd and 9. Ball in the Coldwater 46. Cavaliers trying to keep this drive alive. And they're going to be a false start. Looks like someone moved on the Cavaliers, so make that 3rd down and 14 coming up for Coldwater.
Yeah, that's certainly not what you want to see if you're a Coldwater fan.
All right, tonight's Marion Local premier sponsor is OPAC in Osgood. For all your industrial painting, staining, and assembly needs, call OPAC. So the Flyers getting some help from the Coldwater line. Additional 5 yards here, and now 3rd down and 14, and we'll see what they can do here. At last 3rd down and long, they're able to convert it for a first down. See what Coldwater does here. Blockberger back to pass. 3rd and 14, has time, has plenty of green in front of him if he wants to take it. He's going to throw this one up in the air and incomplete, falling harmlessly to the turf, and that's probably the best case scenario from that particular pass. There were Flyers all over that football.
Yeah, you see a great shot here. He had some space to run, but also saw his top target deep down the field, took the shot, turns into 4th down in our first punt of the football game.
So Owen Kunk will be back to punt for the Cavaliers.
Got Adi and Holscher back for the Flyers.
Thank you. Yep. He gets the punt off and looking good, and Adi fields that one around the 17-yard line and tried to reverse field and didn't find much of anything going there as he has stopped at the 30-yard line. So the Flyers will take over after holding Coldwater with no points once again. As we take another look at the return, and really just a great seal by the Coldwater special teams, not allowing him to get around to the other side, because that's usually when other teams get into trouble when they try and get that. Our timeout sponsors tonight are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com.
Yeah, they're going to start Marion Local from the 30 after the good return.
1st and 10. Knopf with some trouble with the snap is going to hang on to it and going nowhere as Jack Ebbing comes in for the sack as he picks up his 3rd sack of the season.
Yeah, so far, Marion Local is the team with the points, but they're also having to endure some of the wet conditions a little bit more. I think that's the 3rd time that ball's been nearly fumbled, dropped, whatever you want to call. So put it in that bucket. We'll keep track of those kind of plays tonight, but now Marion Local back behind the chains, 2nd and 12.
So far the ball has looked a little more slippery in Marion Local's hands tonight, although they have the points so far. That pass intended for Holscher is incomplete, so a 3rd down and long now coming up for Marion Local.
And some of the same misdirection, just a little bit low on the throw. Had Holscher, that was the man he wanted out there in the flat. But now 3rd down and long quickly for Marion Local, and -2 yards to show for this drive. Last possession for Coldwater resulted in 26 yards, so they barely hold an edge for total yardage right now, 79-71.
Ball on the 28. Here is 3rd and 12. Knopf back to pass. Has time. Now here comes the pressure, and he is going to be sacked one more time as the Cavalier pressure hits home. Noah Welsh in on the stop among others for the Cavaliers, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, looking downfield on that one, Patrick, that's when you chalk up to a coverage sack. Every receiver down the field beyond midfield and near the 40 had somebody in the zip code, and it's going to force a 3 and out for the Flyers.
And that might be the first 3 and out for either side tonight. This is Marion Local's first punt. A.J. Harlemert back to receive, but was a little too far back as that punt gets out to the 50 where it's down. So the Cavaliers will have pretty good field position, so not necessarily flipping the field, but they do have better field position coming out to start this drive.
Yeah, certainly. They're gonna like where they're at right now. They're down 7 with the football and about half the quarter to work with.
Tonight's quarter sponsor is Structure Outdoor Ohio by Alts. Let's Structure Outdoor Ohio. Bring your indoors out. Probably want the outdoors in right now with the rain. Although the rain's backed off a little bit, it's turning into a nice, crisp October evening for high school football here on WOSN. Here's Blockberger. Back to pass on 1st down. Going for it, and the pass is caught. If he got that foot in bounds, and it looks like from here he did, making the catch, Mason Welsh coming up with the Layfeld 1st down, and that is exactly how you want to start if you're a Coldwater Cavaliers fan.
That's about as good of a catch as you'll see in traffic in high school football. That jump ball, 50-50 ball down the sideline. Coldwater has hugged the boundaries a couple times on some pass plays early, and that time it's just a matter of, I guess they're going to play the law of averages out. They just kind of keep going for it, and one of them will come down with it.
Here's Ebbing on 1st down. Couple of spin moves and gets a couple of yards, but that is about all, out to the 23-yard line and no further.
Yeah, great job staying in. Ethan Heitkamp was there staring right at Ebbing after he got the handoff and put a hat on him. And the rest was, turned into a 2-yard gain on 1st down.
Ball on the 23, 2nd down and 8. Ebbing in the backfield with Blockberger. And Blockberger in trouble and is going to be brought down for the sack. Kyle Ungren getting in there for the sack.
Yeah, just pinched in right away. Flyers brought the pressure early, and no more than Blockberger could get his feet settled and starting to think about what to do with the football. There was already blue and yellow surrounding him, so now 3rd down and 10. Back to the 25.
Also giving credit to Drew Louse there. He was able to get some penetration and really started to blow that play up, and really not anywhere for Blockberger to run. And now a 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Cavaliers. 5:13 remaining here in the Structure 2nd quarter. Blockberger back to pass and complete at the 11-yard line. Good for a Layfeld first down. Even with double coverage, he still brings that in, and it's A.J. Harlemert.
Great play. You just got out on the edge. Nice little curl, little out route near the sideline, and Blockberger tucked it right in to where his reliable target could bring it down.
So now the Cavaliers in the Wright State Lake Campus red zone as we have 4:52 remaining here in the first half. Cavaliers with an opportunity to tie this one up, but they're about 13 yards from pay dirt. Blockberger with the pass to Braylon Harlemert, and Harlemert is going to take it to the 5 to the 3-yard line. Looks like he's going to have enough for a Layfeld first down, and it'll be first and goal for the Cavaliers.
Now they just continue to sling it around to several different targets. I've seen three or four at least have their hands on a pass from Blockberger early on. But the sure tackling of Marion Local keeps this a 7-0 football game, and this is the part of the field where just because you're at the 2 does not mean that you got points on there just yet against this defense.
Ball at the 2, first and goal. Here's Ebbing kicking it outside and goes in almost untouched for the Innovative Office Solutions touchdown.
Great piece of running by Ebbing. That one cut, boom, out to the left side. And when he knew he got clear of that edge, he was going to scoot his way around. And 4:05, we're an extra point away from a tie game.
So you said it right there, 7-6 Flyers, and the Cavaliers looking to tie this one up with a Coldwater Lumber extra point.
$35-39 is the total.
And make it 36-40 as we are all tied up at 7 on the Home and Insurance scoreboard here at Booster Stadium. We'll be back. Welcome back. Tonight's timeouts are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com.
That possession, Patrick, 6 plays, 50 yards for the score for Coldwater. They're right now running 129 yards of total offense after Marion Local drew first blood on their first possession. They're going to get the football back about 4 minutes before half. You can really do some damage on the clock and on the scoreboard in that amount of time.
The Flyers held on to the football. Their first scoring drive, held on to it for about 7 minutes, as you mentioned. And now Marion Local getting the football just out across the 30. And, there's a situation here where Marion Local, you could hold the football for the remainder of the half. You put points on the board. You get the ball to start the second half. And it's those gamesmanship things that I'm sure both coaches are looking at, because you need to take every angle you possibly can in a football between football teams is good.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. That's a tremendous point. Remember, we said Coldwater won the toss. They took the football, so that's exactly what we're faced with right here. I'm sure in a game like this where, these two coaches, they've seen each other many, many times. I think by now they probably know how each other think and know the morning routines at this point.
Here is Knopf on first down, and he gets about 1 or 2 yards as the holes that were open earlier in the game do not seem to be there for the running attack so far.
And currently some of their best plays tonight have been through the air, and a lot of it set up by the run. So clearly one of those things, you use the running game to set up that passing game, or then vice versa as they go to a shotgun look for second down.
Knopf back to pass, and pass is complete to the 35, but just not finding any space there, as that was caught by Andrew Pullman. And you see the pursuit there by Coldwater, just not having anything happen there. It's going to be third down at about 7.
Coldwater certainly has a lot of energy right now, but I tell you what, that the positive plays, just getting a few yards here and there, that's exactly what Marion Local did. This sets up a more manageable, opens up the playbook a little bit more on third down. They got to break the 40 to about the 41 so they dial up on third down.
Here is 3rd and 6. Knopf rolling out, looking across the middle, pass complete to Holscher, right at the 41 when he caught the ball, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the Layfeld first down, and indeed he will.
Good spot, but good decision. You go past the sticks on the pass, made the completion, brought in by Holscher. Top target. Handful of catches already in this one today, and now take a breath, you regroup, you have first down, and that clock continues to roll near the 2-minute mark.
Ball on the 42 for that fresh set of downs. And here is the pitch out to Audie. Audie looking for some space and not finding much of anything as a number of Cavaliers in there on the defense to stop that one. Austin Hamilton, Gavin Zabrida among them on the stop.
Well, the blocking was good. It's just didn't hold up for as long as Audie would have liked. And by the time he got around the edge, Coldwater was able to fight through that Austin Hamilton from his corner spot. He's able to rip off off the block and able to get the ball carrier down for a short gain.
That gain was 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Coming up on 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Knopf, back to pass, is going long, has a man wide open at the 39-yard line. Still on his feet, breaks free, and he's gone for an Innovative Office Solutions touchdown. Vic Holscher.
Wow. How did he get so open? Let's look at the Lee's replay again, and almost just unaccounted for. Then he put a foot in the ground, got away from his defender, and you could see the excitement there, Patrick, just welling up as he got inside the 20, and there was nobody in the zip code for him. Another touchdown for the Flyers. It goes 56 yards.
A 56-yard iOS touchdown for Marion Local Vic Holscher. That is his 8th touchdown of the season, giving the Flyers a 13-7 lead. And now the Coldwater Lumber extra point coming up. We've got a flag, couple flags on this play, as it looks like it's going to be against Marion Local.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know how many false starts I've seen against the kicker, but there's one. It looked like he was inching forward. He was ready for it, and just didn't formulate. But I don't think he was alone in jumping. That just bumps this back to a 25-yard attempt.
So little additional field goal practice here for Carson Bills, put it that way. And the kick is up, and it is good.
No problem.
1:18 left in the first half. It's 14-7. Marion Local on top. We'll be back. Welcome back. Tonight's presenting sponsor is the People's Bank. We are invested in the communities we serve. Your bank, your way. And tonight's Marion Local premier sponsor is OPAC in Osgood. For all your industrial painting, staining, and assembly needs, call OPAC. Flyers with a 14-7 lead over Coldwater and a big touchdown strike to Vic Holscher to get it done.
Yeah, 56-yard touchdown there, Patrick. That drive goes 5 plays for 69 yards. And now the Flyers, a minute 18 away from halftime, going in 14-7. Now Coldwater can move the football in a hurry, as we've seen as well. But right now they're going to be up against it in the next 78 seconds to go. So the return is going to tell us a lot about how the next minute or so goes.
We're going to find out exactly how aggressive Chip Otten wants to be on this next drive. Do they want to try and push it or just go to halftime? We'll see what happens here. But this is a nice return out to the 35-yard line. Maybe a couple additional yards from that. So not a bad start. Of course, both teams having all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So the Cavaliers, more importantly, have all their timeouts and, only about 65 yards to go.
Yeah, that's the key. The 3 timeouts really shortens, or I guess lengthens out all 113 that you have here for Coldwater. And it's certainly going to be passing situations. See what they can chip away here.
1st and 10. Blockberger back to pass, going across the middle, and intended for Harlemert is going to be incomplete.
Get a good look at it right here on the Lee's replay, and just skipped in there. A sliding catch would have been nice, would have been a first down, but the good news, though, as bittersweet as it might be, is it stops the clock with 1:09, so you still have plenty of time to operate.
And that's that line you have to balance. It's okay if this is not going to work. We need to take some time off the clock and not give Marion Local all 3 of their timeouts with some time to operate just in case Tim Goodwin's feeling a little aggressive, and he very well might against Coldwater. Blockberger in trouble, avoiding the rush, scrambling around, and is going to get some nice yardage out across the 41 before he is pushed out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, 9-second play there. It looked like it was going to be a big loss, but Blockberger able to slip out, get some yardage out of that, yet third manageable. This is the first down that you need to pick up. You need to get at least the 1 to verify that you're not going to, if you have to give the ball back to Marion Local, they're not going to have a whole lot of time to do anything with it, but not in the plans for Coldwater right here on third down.
6 to go, ball on the 39, 5 wide, and the pressure coming. Blockberger avoids it and is going to throw this one to Harlemert at the 50-yard line and goes out of bounds. It's going to be good for a Layfeld first down. So that was about the best of both worlds there for the Cavaliers. They get the first down, they advance the ball, and they get the clock to stop.
Yeah, very, very good scramble there to be able to get the receiver open in space. He got to a spot, caught it, but looks like we have a penalty for an ineligible man downfield. So take that one off the board and bring it back. That's the second penalty on the Cavaliers in the first half and just the 4th of the football game.
So ignore everything that I just said. Forget it.
We'll leave that one on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it's just,
there we are.
We'll fix that in post. That's what they like to say. Fix that in post. You'll never hear this, folks. It'll never be aired. Third down and 11 now. 51 seconds remaining. Cavaliers still with all their Metzger Financial Services timeouts. Blockberger back to pass. He's got time back there. He lets this one go. Pass complete at the 50-yard line again to the 49 as Harlemert once again comes up with the catch. And I don't see any flags. It's going to be a Layfeld first down.
And it's to Brady Layfeld. So able to hit that on the far sideline. Pretty similar play to what Harlemert did on the previous play that was wiped out by the penalty. Got to the sideline, was able to freelance a little bit off the end of the route to open up some play or some time for his quarterback. And this one has the Cavaliers on Marion Local's end of the field.
Handoff going to Depway, looking for that far side and gets a couple of yards and then goes out of bounds.
He was able to work his way through the defender, Carter Jones, and able to get to the sideline to stop the clock with 38 seconds. And you might, if you're Coldwater, might like to be maybe 10, 12 yards further upfield by this point. But, the way they've been working the passing game, and right now it's calm. There's a little bit of wind, but there's no precipitation coming down.
Yep.
So that is in your favor at the moment.
And not really having to work the sidelines again. Still have all your timeouts, 38 seconds. The clock stops on first downs. So we'll see what they go here. Blockberger going for it all on second down and 7, and the pass is incomplete. Harlemert, the intended receiver. Bringing coverage was Carter Jones.
And going to be tough to see this one replay-wise, but when Blockberger let that one go, it was well in front of where Harlemert was going to be able to catch up to it. And was it catchable? Is there a flag maybe to be put out there? We don't know, but certainly the folks on the Marion Local side wanted some sort of offensive interference by the time it got down near the 10-yard line, but we'll re-rack them and do it again at third down.
Carter Jones was in there on the defense as well, and didn't look like there was a lot of distance between him and Harlemert. Jones was really in there, covered that very well. It looks like we're going to have a Metzger Financial Services timeout. Coldwater taking their first as they talk things over. 33 seconds remaining here in the structure second quarter. A 14-7 lead for Marion Local, and we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back. Tonight's Instant Replay is brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens. 33 seconds left in the first half. It's 7-point lead for Marion Local. Coldwater with the football, and a lot of different ways to approach this final 33 seconds for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, you're right, Patrick. I mean, the thing that's looming, though, is giving the football back to Marion Local after halftime. Coldwater started with the ball here tonight. They've had it. This is their fourth possession. They've scored on one. They'd like to show something on this one. But a big third down faces them to see if this drive's really going to continue and maybe march further downfield.
Ball on the 45, 3rd and 7. Cavaliers off the timeout, back to pass. Blockberger is caught to Harlemert and then steps out of bounds. So NFL level of execution here tonight for the Cavaliers. Here's the Lee's famous recipe replay.
Yeah, right now Harlemert's out of the screen, but he throws back it in there. Nice little pocket in the Marion Local secondary. And another great throw. Blockberger just drops it right in the bucket, and now you're well within striking distance if you're the Cavaliers.
Lee's recipe chicken time or instant replay and drop it in the bucket. I see what you did there. 1st and 10, ball at 23. Blockberger in trouble. It's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line, and an opportunity for Coldwater to take a Metzger Financial Services timeout. And that's exactly what they do with 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, good job for Marion Local to get in there, drop them, and the Cavaliers forced to take this to you.
20 seconds left, and a second down coming up for Coldwater. Tonight's touchdown sponsor is Innovative Office Solutions. Innovative Office Solutions is your local office furniture expert. Visit us at ios-inc.com. 20 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-7 Marion Local, but the Cavaliers in business at the Marion Local 25 and a second down and 12 coming up.
Coming off of a negative play right before the timeouts.
Blockberger, and this one's going to be whistled dead.
The Flyers took a timeout.
So Marion Local is going to take a Metzger Financial Services timeout. Of course, Marion Local Coldwater, this has been a game that has been a huge one, has decided the Midwest Athletic Conference numerous times over the years. In fact, these two teams, two of the winningest teams in MAC titles in the history of the conference. Marion Local has won 16 championships. Coldwater with 19 championships, Marion Local with 16 championships. Talk about them more here in a second. Tonight's Extra Point sponsor is Coldwater Lumber, providing professional and reliable construction services with an experienced staff eager to assist with your next project. And tonight's timeouts are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com.
Yeah, a lot of titles, not just the MAC. Just between the two, there's 20 state championships as well, and there's so many more. 41 for the conference in football, 150, and then probably counting. Actually, probably one just happened right now.
Blockberger, this one tipped in the air, and Blockberger slams it down, which was actually a really good play. You thought maybe he'd catch and run with it, but that would be possibly a loss. So good play all the way around, even in spite of the knockdown pass.
Heady play to live to find another down for Coldwater. 16 seconds on the clock, and a third down they're facing here. Maybe take a couple of shots and see where you lie here, or maybe try to get a chunk and kick a field goal. Well, you got a couple of options to go here, Patrick.
They've been pretty good at putting the ball into play, throwing it, getting out of bounds, doing that kind of thing. Haven't seen Bryce Couchot in a while kicking a field goal. He's a very competent field goal kicker, so that is an option. And we're going to have a flag out, as that might be delay of game, or did they get the timeout? Looks like they did get the timeout.
Barely.
So they say no flag on the play. And there'll be a timeout. So we'll talk this one over, and this is the situations where my wife says the last 2 minutes of a football game just take entirely too long to play. This is sort of Exhibit A in that. Not that it's taking too long to play, but the last couple minutes have crawled by. As when you get to close games like this, you have to strategize a little bit more than you do maybe the first 14 of it.
Yeah, you got to have all your pieces put together here and make sure everything's lined up well here on this third down, because of you want to use the time well. You don't have a whole lot left, and And sometimes you have to think through these situations. So, well, okay, let's just go into halftime. But you got to think through that. You're about to give the ball back to Marion Local at the end of halftime, and that's certainly a decision throughout this drive that has dictated the decisions made to march Coldwater all the way to where they are on the field.
That was a Metzger Financial Services timeout. Cavaliers are out of timeouts now with 16 seconds left in the half. 3rd down and 12. Blockberger back to pass, looking across the middle, and intercepted. Landon Arling coming up with the interception, and he's taken it. 25, 30-yard line, pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Big time turnover forced by Marion Local. Here's another look at it. And Landon Arling coming up with his 2nd interception of the season. And that stops a potential Coldwater drive.
Yeah, that is just the ultimate swing of momentum. It looked like Coldwater through a good chunk of this second quarter, Patrick, started to have a couple things figured out, really pushing that way. But Marion Local able to completely extinguish that threat, take the football into half up 7.
Marion Local with a 14-7 lead, and they will get the football to start the next half. 14-7, Marion Local on top of Coldwater. 3rd quarter coming up here on WOSN. Welcome back. Tonight's presenting sponsor is the People's Bank. We are invested in the communities we serve. Your bank, your way. And tonight's Marion Local premier sponsor is OPAC in Osgood. For all your industrial painting, staining, and assembly needs, call OPAC. 14-7, Marion Local on top of Coldwater as we head to the 3rd quarter. Patrick Hamler and Garrett Mansfield here with you, and Marion Local getting the football to start the 3rd quarter. And you think, here's an opportunity for the Flyers to extend the lead, and they very well might do that as we've had a pretty close nip and tuck first half.
You have that exactly right, Patrick, and this is one of the more critical junctures of the football game to this point, is Marion Local getting the ball with a lead. Now, it's not the first time that has been the case. They got it partway through the second quarter, up 7-0, and then Coldwater's defense, they stood up and forced the 3-and-out for a punt and was able to get the ball back and score it themselves to tie it up. But we're going to be very intrigued to see how the first couple of minutes go of this Marion Local drive.
Coldwater having to stage a little bit of a comeback last week. They were down 21-14 to Versailles, ended up winning that contest. Of course, Marion Local has had a couple of chances where they've had to come back in games, and this should be an interesting second half as Coldwater kicks off. The Flyers getting the football around the 10-yard line, and a nice return out to the 34-yard line, and that is where Marion Local will take over for their first drive of the second half.
One of the key junctures of the end of the first half, Patrick, was that interception on the final drive. Early in the game, remember back to our Lima Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show, the first key was ball security, and Marion Local has been the team that has had a little trouble with the exchanges, quarterback to center, a couple of passes that kind of got away. However, it was Coldwater that committed the only turnover of the game as the Cavaliers looked to hunt for one of their own.
Here's 1st and 10, and off with the pitch to Holscher on the other side, but Coldwater expertly sniffs it out and picking up probably getting even a loss on that play. Miles Potcutter in there on the stop for Marion Local. Though I take that back, that was number 7 for the Cavaliers, Austin Hamilton, coming up with the stop.
Yeah, that is a lesson in staying home. You have those gadget plays, the misdirections, which Marion Local does very, very well with their scheme in that. We've seen a lot of it tonight, but being able to seal that edge and then pursue, and that's what Coldwater did right there. 2nd and 11.
So a loss of 1. Knopf, pump fakes. He's got Holscher open at the 40. Catch is made at the 36 and is down at the 10-yard line. Good for a Layfeld first down and a big gain as Marion Local hits the Wright State Lake Campus red zone.
And that pump fake really opened it up, took the top off the Coldwater defense, but a touchdown saving stop by a pair of Cavaliers. One long pass play to another. I tell you what, the stat sheet's going to be tilted towards Marion Local's passing by the time this is said and done so far.
Good for a long gain, and now first down. and 10. Ball at the 10 for the Flyers. And Knopf is going to keep this on first down out to the 6-yard line, and that's about it.
Short gainer here, but just to go back a play, man, what a gut punch that has to be, Patrick, to get a big positive play defensively for Coldwater to start the half, and then whoop, hit you right back with the other fist right there, and now they're goal to go on second down.
Flyers able to extend the defense vertically, and they may be able to hit pay dirt as a result. Here is second down and 6. Knopf gets the low snap. And punishing run there by number 46, Ethan Heitkamp. As he takes the ball here, here's the Lee's famous recipe replay, and almost punches that one in down at the 1.
A little bit of a low snap, had to adjust, but looking to add another touchdown. He had one from 18 yards away through the air, has 11 on the ground this year too.
Taking this one in is Heitkamp in for the iOS touchdown.
Just follow that big offensive line, win the battle, pushing defenders into the end zone. It's you can be almost anybody and carry it in behind that offensive line at that point, but the wrecking ball of Heitkamp gets it into the end zone. That's his second trip beyond the goal line tonight.
12th rushing touchdown of the season, giving Marion Local a very quick 20-7 lead as there's a flag out thrown in the back of the end zone.
Illegal substitution on the defense.
So it's going to be a legal substitution against Coldwater. And sometimes that changes the calculus. I don't know if they accepted or declined it.
I'll put on the kickoff, it looks like.
Marion Local is elected to have that foul enforced on the subsequent kickoff.
And indeed that is the case. So Bill's out to attempt the Coldwater Lumber extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So the Flyers waste no time putting a touchdown drive together, and with 9:35 remaining in the third quarter, it's a 21-7 Marion Local lead here on WOSN. Welcome back. Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by Homeman's Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. Marion Local wasting no time getting back on the board, starting the third quarter, 21-7 Flyers on top.
Goes down as a 6-play, 66-yard drive, capped off on the 1-yard rushing score by Heitkamp. Go up 21-7. So now total yardage-wise, Flyers back in front there, 206 yards to 168 of Coldwater. Coldwater did have a 28-yard advantage going into halftime, but simply put now here, Patrick, is you got to have a stop. You got to be able to pick one up on the defensive end. Your offense has got to do its job, take care of its business, but defense has got to be able to get the Flyer offense off the field at some point tonight.
Said Vic Holzer had about 56 yards, I think, of that 66-yard drive, and that ball is going to sail out of the back of the end zone for a touchback for the Cavaliers. And now you find yourself in a situation, if you're Coldwater, where you're down 14 points, and it's not been a bad game for you. Certainly there's not a lot to pick at as far as what Coldwater has done wrong necessarily, but you think you need to get some points here. You have to have something positive on this drive.
And even if that's moving the football and shifting the field position battle, those are some things that will push you in the right direction, but they want points.
Screen pass complete to Harlemert out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Good little chip here early. Bring down a second and a half way to go.
So I've seen that play a number of times, trying to get Harlemert, either Braylon or AJ, in space and trying to make something happen. It'll be interesting to see if maybe they try and work Mason Welsh into the game plan a little bit more. He had a number of catches last week and was instrumental in Coldwater's come-from-behind win against Versailles. It'll be interesting to see if they can work him in a little bit more. Now Blockberger with the pass complete out to Cody Depwig, and not able to find a whole lot of space, a couple of yards. That's going to bring up third down and about 4.
Good sure tackle by Louse out there on the edge. Now you look at Depwig, he's a load. 6'2", 220. Got into some space and still was able to get him cut down. Third and short, but it's a big third down for Coldwater right here.
Ball on the 28, and it is third down and 4. Flyers bringing pressure. Going up the middle, and nothing doing. Ebbing is stopped for no gain. It's going to be fourth down.
And nowhere to go. Ethan Heitkamp got through the line. Made the play on the offensive side. With the last touchdown, it comes up with a big third down stop.
So a solid start to the quarter for the Flyers, getting the touchdown on 6 plays, and then now forcing a 3-and-out by the Cavaliers. I think that's the first time Coldwater's been held to a 3-and-out in this game so far.
I can confer. Marion Local's
and they are going to fake it. It's into the hands of Depwig, and Depwig is going to get the Layfeld first down. What a gutsy call by the Cavaliers to move the sticks.
We got to go back to the cutting room floor for the last comment there, Patrick. That's twice tonight. Now it's not no 3-and-out anymore, but a gutsy play on that end of the field to just say, hey, we got to keep the football and we got to get some points out of this possession. It's only a couple of yards to go. Got to the up man, and Coldwater stays on the field.
A great call by the Cavaliers, and that moves the chains and keeps the drive alive, most importantly. 1st and 10. Swinging that out to Harlemert. Pass is complete. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Picked up about 5 yards there. And you saw some penetration from Marion Local on that play a little bit.
Yeah, you certainly did, but the long arms of Kyle Lundgren out there on the, I think he's playing the right edge currently, but that 6'4" frame or 6'4" wingspan almost had that swing pass knocked down.
Gain of 3 officially. Here's second down. Hand off to Ebbing. Ebbing on the far side has the Layfeld first down and heads to plus territory down at the 47-yard line.
Coldwater is starting to get their mojo back. Couple of first downs, and man, it's got to be an interesting feeling, Patrick, when you make a stop, and then you have that fake punt. Now you're reeling a little bit and trying to recollect here, middle of the field defensively.
Yeah.
Talking about the Marion Local perspective, but right now Coldwater still looking for some of that magic that they're starting to stir up.
Depwig on first down across to the 47-yard line. Picks up a couple on that play. Oh, if you're a Marion Local defense, you get that third down stop, and you relax a little bit. You think, okay, we're going to be out to get off the field, and then that fake punt gets the first down, and all of a sudden, you got to focus up. You got to get back on defense, and sometimes, no matter how well coached you are, that could be a difficult transition to make.
Yeah, absolutely, and made a good stop on the following first down. Second and long.
Only picked up 1, second down and 9. And Blockberger, double pass. Harlemert looking, that ball. I don't know if it came out of his hands funny or maybe it was tipped somewhere. But in any case, it's incomplete. Third down and 9 coming up. Let's take a look at it again here.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. I mean, good reach by the defender. Got out there to cover it up.
Not exactly sure who that was intended for. It might have been intended for Ethan Elander, number 11. In any case, it's an incomplete pass. Third down and 9 coming up for the Cavaliers. Harlemert in motion. Blockberger rolling out. Time to throw and lets that one go. And Harlemert coming down with it. No, they're going to say incomplete. Was out of bounds. Fourth down.
Watch the Lee's replay. You have 2 receivers over here. And I don't know if this messes with the vision for Harlemert. I would doubt it, but he came down with it. A couple of passes completed out of bounds, and he had Mason Welsh over there too, but now it's punt time again for Coldwater. Now when you're punting from this part of the field, you have a little bit more confidence to pin Marion Local back deep. And
That's without a doubt, and I would be very surprised to see a fake punt here at this stage of the game, at this point of the field. You say they're going to try and play field position most likely, see if they can pin Marion Local back deep. Trouble with the snap, and they're not going to get it off, and unable to flip the field. In fact, Marion Local is going to get the ball in plus territory to start their next drive.
Yeah, that just went completely off the rails for Coldwater. Tough break for the punter, Owen Kunk. Looked like he was ready to just go into his rhythm, but maybe a little moisture there on the football. They're really the first miscue on handling the football that Coldwater has had tonight, and it really comes up and costs them. Marion Local in plus territory, as you said, with 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Now you're going to be starting to watch the clock a little bit because you're not going to want a whole lot to run off here from here on out. Time is going to be precious in this second half, down by 2 scores.
Metzger Financial Services timeout by Marion Local. 5:15 remaining here in the structure third quarter. Flyers up 14. Tonight's touchdown sponsor is Innovative Office Solutions. Innovative Office Solutions is your local office furniture expert. Visit us at ios-inc.com. Marion Local taking the timeout as they get ready for their next drive with the ball at the 46-yard line. And Coldwater's drive having some trouble with the punt. Opportunity to pin Marion Local deep, but instead Flyers have it in plus territory in a pretty short field, and they're going to try and pack 7 more points on the board.
Yeah, just one of those spots defensively. Now it's time to rise to the occasion if you're Coldwater, but the Flyers punched up again, another score the last time they had the football, and we're seeing a couple plays where this thing's going to be headed.
Yeah, nice second, maybe third effort there on first down, picking up about 6 yards as Drew Louse with the carry.
Just a tough run. That's the brand right here between these two teams, just to put your nose down, keep on going until that whistle blows. And yeah, Louse, tremendous first down run.
Well, we haven't called the names of a lot of the running attack. We've called Louse a couple times. Ethan Heitkamp, of course, has 2 touchdowns, but hasn't carried the ball a whole lot, so you have to think a number of fresh legs. Of course, Knopf has carried the ball quite a bit, and he picks up some nice yards on this second down play to the 35 before he is pushed backwards. That should be good for a Layfeld first down. Indeed it is.
Yeah, great pursuit. You'll see it here in the Lee's replay. A lot of orange hats flying to the football, but going to be a couple yards too short as Marion Local moves the chains once more. Total yardage in this game been virtually equal, just a hair over 200 entering this drive for Marion Local, but that scoreboard, that's the stat that matters.
Flyers with a 14-point lead on the Home and Insurance scoreboard. Now 1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line as Knopf rolls out, stops, got a man open, caught at the 10 and takes it in for an iOS touchdown. Number 10, Andrew Pullman, pulling that one in, and the Flyers extend their lead.
Just really impressed with Knopf. Just the little head fake. It wasn't much. You might not have even been able to notice it, but you could notice it here in person with the naked eye. Just kind of got enough there to get the defensive back to bite. And it gets Pullman wide open for the score. We've seen several long passes for Marion Local tonight, and just the little things from Knopf that have made those things successful.
And Marion Local just keeps skipping over the Wright State Lake Campus red zone and just going right in for the touchdown.
Why not?
Exactly. You could get it, and even with some issues there at the line, the Coldwater Lumber extra point is good for the Marion Local Flyers. Marion Local, the home team, up 28-7. Tonight's Red Zone sponsor is Wright State University Lake Campus. Whether you're interested in an associate or bachelor's degree, Wright State University Lake Campus offers something for you. Visit lake.wright.edu to apply today.
Last drive there, Patrick, with Marion Local adding another touchdown. Just 3 plays to go 46 yards, 35 through the air. Brought on in by Andrew Pullman. And just like that, Knopf has thrown for 3 touchdowns tonight.
Adding to his total, giving him 19 on the season. And you would have looked at these two teams and thought if there were going to be a lot of passing touchdowns, it'd probably come from the Coldwater side. Balin Blockberger, the leading passer between the two teams, but indeed it has been Justin Knopf. And, something that Tim Goodwin has been very good at this game is getting guys involved in different ways that you haven't really seen them do all throughout the season, as Harlemert returning the kick, getting it out to the 36-yard line before he is tackled.
Big drive coming up for Coldwater. Nice return, sets up nice field position. Get another look at it. Harlemert's, he's been good in every phase tonight.
So the Cavaliers now a 21-point deficit, their largest of the season.
Oh, and it is go time now, Patrick.
The Cavaliers, well, you said it right there. They need to make something happen just to try to keep themselves even just, emotionally in this game, as Blockberger's pass intended for Harlemert is incomplete.
Incompletion. Every second's going to be precious, and that's, this will help them out, save some time here, but you got to think, you've given up 2 on the last 2 possessions, so we talked about the last time they held the football that they need points. Well, it's even more dire now.
Now the ball at the 39, second down and 10. Blockberger in trouble and is able to stay on his feet, throws that one away.
And got back to the line of scrimmage, so he's good there.
Going to say incomplete. Of course, the Marion Local fans wanting intentional grounding. But I don't think they're going to get it. There was a receiver nearby, and as you said, the ball went past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the tackle box lies right now at this level. It seems like it's such a fluid thing and changes, but being pushed back, there's an argument to be made there.
Well, in any case, it is 3rd and 10. All alone in the gun. Blockberger looking across the middle, has Harlemert. Pass complete at the 35 and tackled at the 25-yard line. Good for a Layfeld first down and a desperately needed play for the Cavaliers.
And that's going to go for, call it 35 plus, and you could see that develop immediately. As soon as he let go of the football, had his guy down the sideline, had his defender beat. Tremendous play for the Cavaliers. Now look to capitalize.
3:21 remaining in the third quarter. Flyers with a 28-7 lead. Cavaliers looking to answer. Here's Blockberger going over the middle again, and this is going to be intercepted and the goal line. Pass picked off by Griffin Bruns, and Bruns takes it out to the 20-yard line. Second interception of the day for Coldwater.
And that is a backbreaker right there, and the safety just rolls right in, kind of sees that football in the air. Bruns he had his nose turned up for that football, and as soon as it was released, he let his man go and went to find it. And now the Flyers have it at the 21, 3 and some change to go in this third, up 3 scores. The fans on this side of Booster Field or Booster Stadium got to be feeling pretty good.
Another promising drive by Coldwater, stopped by a turnover, and you got to think, if you're a Marion Local, if you can put 7 more points on the board, that just might do it. Ball to 21, 1st and 10, and up the middle go the Flyers. I believe that was Heitkamp on the carry.
Indeed it was. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of this. We're going to see Marion Local handling the football, running the football between the tackles quite a bit the rest of the way, especially when you get four or more out of it, as they did on that run by Heitkamp, and being able to massage the clock out. And go back to last year, it was a 35-0 win for the Flyers, and go back to 2018, last time Coldwater got the upper end in this series.
2nd down and 6. Knopf looking to pass it and does. Complete to as a number Kyle Oddie there. And might have even lost a couple of yards on that screenplay, though. Nice pressure there as Gavin Zabrida gets the stop.
Yeah, good sure tackle in space, 3rd and long. See, this Coldwater defense can get them off the field. That's one way to reward the offense. It's you had something going. A play didn't go our way, but we can put 3 together to get the football back. Let's see if they answer the call.
3rd and 10. Knopf rolling right. Pass is complete, but not enough for the first down. Picked up about 6 yards on that play. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, nice sliding catch.
So a quick change of personnel here for the Flyers.
Basically,
they might get set before Coldwater is set. Let's see if that impacts what they do. And it looks like everyone's going to be ready to go. Coldwater looks like they're coming after this one. Snap is low, and they do get the punt off. Harlemer back to receive, but it's going to take a Marion Local bounce out to the 44-yard line. So credit to Coldwater's defense, able to stiffen up and get the 3-and-out for the Flyers, and the Cavaliers will get back on offense.
Yeah, holds Marion Local to 6 yards on the drive, and we're gonna beat the same drum here, Patrick, because it's you gotta walk away with points just to apply pressure on Marion Local. You gotta reward the defense. We talked about rewarding the offense, getting them back on the field. But I tell you what, now the offense they're feeling it. They've built upon the drive they had before, and felt like they probably had the job done there. But now they gotta show it.
So the Cavaliers back on offense, ball on the 44, 1st and 10. Trailing Marion Local 28-7. And Blockberger is going to tuck and run on 1st down and has the Layfeld 1st down, it appears, as he's across midfield to the 46-yard line.
He takes a pretty good lick. He's going to get one defender high and another coming over the top to finish him off. So he's going to be a little
looks like he's going to be short, yeah, indeed. So not quite there, but pretty close. It'll be 2nd down and 1. So are they going to? They might take a look at this one. Officials call a timeout.
That is pretty close.
I was kind of surprised they just decided to go ahead and run the play. I thought it was close enough to at least mark it and measure it out.
Now those line judges get down there and start to set up the play and give the ball a look and go, you know what? That's a little too close for comfort.
That's pretty tight there. I think you should take a look at that. You mentioned Coldwater not winning in this series since 2018. The last time Marion Local lost a regular season game was October of 2019. It was a close game against Minster. That was the last time that the Flyers lost in the regular season. Of course, it has been 41 games that Marion Local has won, one of the best streaks in Ohio history. Not the best streak, though, in Marion Local history, but they're a couple games away from that. Their 43-game winning streak is their best all-time, and they had that one until 2015 when it was ended by these Coldwater Cavaliers.
Yes, indeed, and that's just all the more impressive when you're able to set records like this and then kind of rerun them yourself. So, got to enjoy that if you're a fan of the blue and gold.
Say a 2nd round victory for the Flyers. If they hold on to win this game, will give them a 44-game winning streak, which would be the longest in their school's history. As Blockberger faking on 1st down, in trouble and brought down for the sack at the 45-yard line.
Great pressure.
Said Isaac Millenkamp in there on the stop. And Ungren in there as well.
Yep. Tough to stop the two of them. Individually, they're each a handful, and got to give it to the Coldwater O-line. They've been able to keep Blockberger pretty clean for a good chunk of the night. Marion Local's got their licks on them a couple of times, but
and that is going to end the 3rd quarter of action. And one more in the books. Can Marion Local hang on 28-7 as we head to the 4th? Tonight's quarter sponsor is Structure Outdoor Ohio by Alts. Let Structure Outdoor Ohio bring your indoors out. Structure fourth quarter coming up between Marion Local and Coldwater. Flyers with a 28-7 lead here at home against the Cavaliers. Patrick Hamler, Garrett Mansfield here with you. And Marion Local having a dominant third quarter, putting 2 scores on the board to extend their lead.
That's right, Patrick. And a handful of really long pass plays have been some big differences in the game for Marion Local on the offensive side. A team that loves to move it with the ground game, and when you have as many leads as they have throughout most of the season, that tends to be how things go in lopsided affairs. But in a rivalry game like this, you got to go to the air and keep your arch rival on their toes. And now they have Coldwater kind of back on their heels a little bit more, really playing in a hurried style here, as we'll see early in this fourth quarter as they try to get some points on.
Cavaliers pick up 8 through the air on second down. Third down and 11 coming up for Coldwater. Trips to the left. Blockberger with time. Puts this one up in the air. Hollerman has to stretch to get to it and does get it. Good for a Layfeld first down.
I thought when he released this it was going to be too high, but look at the leap for Harlemer to bring that football down. I'm not sure what high pointing is, but I think that's what that looks like.
That looks pretty close to it, yeah, without a doubt. Harlemer using all that 5'10 frame. Backfield empty for Blockberger at the 34, 1st and 10. Creating a little bit of time and throws this one out of bounds.
That'll stop that clock at 11:18. It just must have been off target, and Harlemer was the intended target again.
So second down and 10 coming up here for the Cavaliers as the clock becoming a factor here. Cavaliers down 21. Not going to slam the door shut on Coldwater just yet, but you think they have to have something positive happen here. They got to put it in the end zone here on this drive. Second and 10, and Blockberger thought he was sacked, gets away from it, and won't get away entirely as he is brought down at the 38-yard line. It's going to be for a loss of 4, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, just look at that. Even on the pump fake, he's able to keep the football in his hands and turn a play that could have been a huge deflating negative loss, and only turns into a loss of maybe 2 or 3 more. 3rd and long, but still live to fight another down.
Now 3rd down and 15 coming up for the Cavaliers. 10:34 remaining in the structure fourth quarter. And Coldwater is going to take a Metzger Financial Services timeout. We will step aside as well. 28-7, Marion Local on top. We'll be back. Tonight's presenting sponsor is the People's Bank. We are invested in the communities we serve. Your bank, your way. And tonight's Marion Local premier sponsor is OPAC. In Osgood, for all your industrial painting, staining, and assembly needs, call OPAC. 3rd down and 15 coming up for the Coldwater Cavaliers as Coldwater in a do-or-die situation on this drive. 10:28 remaining in the structure fourth quarter, down 21 points. And, we talked about something positive happening, and I think that positive has to be they got to put the ball in the end zone here.
Yep. I'd concur with that. And, just during that last break, looking at just a couple of plays that really stood out. And, as much as fans, they hold on to every single play, and that's a good thing. That's a passionate thing. Sometimes in games like this, it just comes down to a couple. You have 2 blown coverages that turn into long passes for Marion Local, 2 interceptions. You take a couple of those away, it's a different game.
Blockberger pass across the middle to Welsh, complete, but not able to get much more than that as Arling is in there on the stop and actually might have netted no gain on that play. It's going to be 4th down, and I would imagine probably a situation where you go for it if you're Chip Otten.
Yep, certainly kind of forcing the hand here. You have to do this at this point, and every time you touch the football, you're going to want to put points on the board, and you got to start with that right here. But last play, just one of those hit the safety valve. That's pretty much all you had at the moment. Time was running out, and this Marion Local defense, they smell the blood in the water. They're coming after it.
Showing blitz, and they come. 4th and 13. Blockberger running out of it and is going to get sacked for a loss at the 44-yard line. So unable to do anything on those last couple of plays, and Marion Local will take over.
Well, you rush 5 on 4th down. When you're able to do that, you trust your DBs. They did their job off the snap, and that turns into a turnover on downs as Laus is able to track down the quarterback. And Marion Local, they exerted their will on their first 2 possessions here of the second half to increase their lead by 14. Here they have good field position again at their own 44.
And Marion Local has really been able to get pressure on Blockburger tonight, just rushing 4. So bringing the extra pressure there, gets the ball back for the Flyers, and they take over. Knopf on the carry on first down, finds a seam across the 50 to the 45, down at the 44-yard line for a Layfield first down.
Here's that run game going at it. A little misdirection on the fake to the tailback. And Knopf takes it himself. Goes from 144 to the other. Hey, that's good for 12.
I like your math. First down and 10. Flyers with 9:11 remaining on the 4th quarter clock. Here's a pitch out to Audie. Out to the 43-yard line. Pickup of about 3. 5'8", senior. Called his name a couple times as he picks up a couple yards there. And really, this is probably what you're going to see from Marion Local on this drive. Just keep the chains going, keep the clock moving, and get this one brought to a conclusion as Marion Local looks to be on their way to winning their 42nd straight game. Second and 8 here is Heitkamp going up the middle, and he rumbles to the 36-yard line. 35 is where they'll mark him down, and a third down and short coming up.
Yeah, win 42. Some of the implications for Marion Local, it would be undefeated season number 7 in school history, all of them under Coach Goodwin. They look to start the mission for a record 14th state title.
Third and 1 here is Heitkamp, and is just going to, I think he pushed the pile forward enough based on the spot. Looks like he's going to have another Layfield first down as we take another look at it. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken providing our replays tonight. And that's a fascinating stat to know. Their 7th undefeated season. There are teams in the state of Ohio that do not have any undefeated seasons, and Marion Local has 7 in the last 24 years.
Yep. And you look at Coldwater, they have 6 all-time too. 3 of those under Coach Otten. He's been at the helm of 5 of their 7 championships in the state of Ohio too.
Coldwater possibly looking at another state title run, even in spite of how this game turns out. Metzger Financial Services timeout on the field as the Flyers want to talk this one over. 7:09 remaining on the Homan Insurance scoreboard. It's a 28-7 lead for the Marion Local Flyers over the Coldwater Cavaliers. We'll step away and take this timeout. We'll be back. Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by Homan Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. And tonight's instant replay is brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens. 28-7, Marion Local on top of Coldwater. Flyers with the football at the 34-yard line. And it looks like a 4th down going for it here for Marion Local. Thought they had the Layfield first down on that last play, but did not get it. So Knopf back to pass on 4th down and going long, and has Audie at the 10 to put the icing on the cake of this Marion Local victory and iOS touchdown for the Flyers.
34 yards. No, it wasn't long ago. Brother Peyton was tossing them around, and now hauling one in. And Kyle is into the end zone.
So on 4th and 1, they go to the air. and effectively salt this one away. 34-7, Marion Local on top with the Coldwater Lumber extra point forthcoming, as Carson Bills has been busy here today.
That gets Knopf 20 passing touchdowns for the year, 4 tonight.
An incredible performance for Knopf tonight, his 4th touchdown pass, and it is a 35-7 lead for Marion Local here on WOSN. Tonight's Extra Point sponsor is Coldwater Lumber, providing professional and reliable construction services with an experienced staff eager to assist with your next project. And tonight's Red Zone sponsor is Wright State University Lake Campus. Whether you're interested in an associate or bachelor's degree, Wright State University Lake Campus offers something for you. Visit lake.wright.edu to apply today. Well, Marion Local's had all the right moves here in this second half. 35-7, they lead over the Coldwater Cavaliers as the Flyers well on their way to MAC championship number 17, number 10 outright.
Yep, and that is going to continue the string that they have together. It'd be their 3rd outright in a row, 8th total. That includes some shared titles. Last drive, 6 plays, 56 yards. That is the 4th pass play tonight to go for over 30 yards for Marion Local. 3 of them have resulted in scores. And just continue. And all of that was on a 4th down and 1. That last play.
A fantastic call there by Tim Goodwin. Of course, you're thinking, just get the first down, keep the clock running. But instead, they go for it. They get it. They get the touchdown, and now a 28-point lead, as it would take something of a relatively medium-sized miracle for Coldwater to come back in this one. Not sure what a medium-sized miracle looks like, since all miracles are pretty fantastic. I'll just let you guys think about that one. There's a flag down on the field. I think that's going to be possibly false start against Coldwater. It will be, so that's going to back them up 5 yards. And, Marion Local winning this one decisively, even if Coldwater does put a touchdown or 2 on the board. But you're looking at a team in the Coldwater Cavaliers is probably going to be in the conversation as we get closer to state championship football in Canton.
Yeah, you have at least 3 schools in the MAC that have that exact same expectation. Marion Local in Division 7. Remind you, this is a Division 7 versus Division 5 football game here with the Flyers in Little Division in terms of how they go here in the state of Ohio. And for the Cavaliers in Division 5, you throw Versailles in there in Division 6. I mean, that's the way they do things in this part of the state is with the diversity of the conference and the sizes of schools, able to fill up those smaller divisions, and they're always a power when it gets to this time of year.
And Marion Local, of course, they are the defending Division 6 champ, which they won't get to defend this year because they're back in Division 7 as they kind of go back and forth. Of course, they won the Division 7 championship in 21, defeating Newark Catholic. They beat Kirtland last season 14-6. Kirtland always seems to be a nemesis for the Marion Local Flyers, especially over the last few years.
Yeah, when you play that many games that deep into November, you're bound to see teams over and over again. That's one name that folks in these parts know well.
Blockberger back to pass on 2nd and 11, finds Harlemert at the 29, gets down to the 30, and is going to be very close to a Layfeld first down. And that will move the stick. So a Layfeld first down for the Cavaliers as Harlemert with the first down catch. The combination that has been very fruitful for the Cavaliers throughout the season. A.J. Harlemert coming into the game with 745 receiving yards. Not able to manufacture a lot in terms of points tonight, but you got to think that connection is going to be very much utilized for them during their playoff run.
Coming into the evening, almost 80 yards per game, and I think the math has got to be close to there tonight with as much as Harlemert's been involved.
Something else that might be kind of surprising. Of course, to Marion Local fans, this won't be surprising, but maybe for some of you that are just high school football enthusiasts that are watching tonight, that Marion Local was not the 1 seed in their region heading into this contest. They were the number 2 seed, although it looks like they will probably get enough computer points with this win over Coldwater as Harlemert takes the pass down to the 48-yard line. That's going to be good for a Layfield first down.
Good little slant to get to move the chains, but to piggyback off of that, Patrick, that's just the nature of the beast. You don't get to control whose points really are out there for you to take through the first handful of weeks. But tonight, not only do you get the division perk by getting extra points by going up a couple of divisions, but also everybody that they've beat, those second-level points are available for the taking for Marion Local.
Nice stick there by Marion Local. Mitchell Ranley getting in there and stopping. I think that was Jack Ebbing in his tracks. That'll bring up a second down and about 6 or 7. Of course, as we mentioned, Coldwater in Division 5, currently holding on to the 5 seed. And, of course, if nothing else changed, they would be taking on Indian Lake in the first round. Of course, a lot of things could change, and it depends on where all that stuff sets up. And, I could probably sit here and do the math, but I'd be quiet for a little bit while I'm trying to figure that out instead of calling a football game. Here's Braylon Harlemert, who's been a little quiet tonight. He gets out across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Good for another Layfield first down.
Moving the ball well here on this drive for Coldwater. They're trying to salvage some of these remaining minutes, and that's one thing to notice throughout, especially in Week 10. I know there's a lot of folks that put a lot of time and effort into forecasting what those matchups could be a couple of weeks in advance, but it's as good a guess as anybody's before you get to this week. You can kind of forecast now.
Blockberger in trouble on 1st and 10, able to get away from it. Just going to throw this one out. Of course, the Marion Local fans looking for intentional grounding again. Again, I think.
Yeah, he's out of the tackle box right there. He's out from between the tackles, and I think the argument would be the line of scrimmage, and didn't get a very affirmative look off after the second look because of the angle, but I think that's got to be what the deliberation would be, is it didn't go far enough.
Well, in any case, they didn't throw a flag, so it's going to be second down and 10.
And it's 35-7.
That too. Blockberger pitches to Potcotter. Cutting up from the right side across the 35 to the 33-yard line. And they'll make it a more manageable third and, say medium, probably 5 or 6 on that.
Pretty good little run on the outside of the right. You got a few more options at this down and distance to go at versus where you were previously. So a positive second down play to set things up.
3 wide on 3rd and 5. And Blockberger is going to go to the far side, and a pass incomplete. Was looking for A.J. there on the sideline. There might have been a little miscommunication there, but in any case, it's going to be 4th down and 5 for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I mean, the way Harlemert broke, he broke inside the route, looking for the football over his left shoulder, but instead it was delivered to the back shoulder towards the right near the pylon, and fortunately there was nobody for Marion Local back there to corral that and maybe take the 3rd interception of the game, but 4th and long.
4th and 5. Cavaliers kind of keep the drive alive, and Welsh with the completion out across the 28-yard line, and that is going to be good for a Layfield first down.
It was going to come down to the spot. It looks like Cavaliers were able to get every inch that they needed to keep this drive going. Now it's now 10 or 11 plays old.
Coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in the structure 4th quarter. 35-7 lead for Marion Local. Cavaliers trying to add some points. Pass is complete across the 25, and the tackle is made right there at the 25. And I want to go back to something you said earlier in the game, Garrett. You mentioned that there really aren't a lot of times where if there's a Marion Local guy who misses a tackle, there's another guy there. You don't see a lot of one-on-one tackling by the Flyers. There's always multiple guys coming to the football. And see there, right in the example of Cody Depway going up the middle. Again, middle plays, it's a little easier to get that, but you just see 1, 2, 3. You never see just one guy. It's 2, 3, 4 Marion Local Flyers at the ball making a tackle at all times.
Yeah, that goes down to, I would say, multiple things. Obviously, you have to be trained up well, like as in terms of you got to have that quickness. You got to be able to fly to the football, and that's exactly what we're seeing there, and a lot of athleticism by the second, third level of the defense, getting hats on the football immediately.
Here's Ebbing on third down, bouncing off to the 20-yard line, now to the 19-yard line. And I think he's going to be just short of the first down, so another fourth down coming up for the Cavaliers.
These replay had a pretty good look up the line to see where that was just a little bit short. Good healthy yard here for the Cavaliers on fourth down.
4th and 1. Carry up the middle, and this one is, I think he's got it.
Good strong run, made a couple guys miss in the backfield, and kept those legs churning. And got another good down the line look at it there to move the sticks for Coldwater.
So a Layfeld first down for Ebbing, and the Cavaliers in the Wright State Lake Campus red zone as we come up to about a minute 13 remaining. Stolly Insurance sponsoring our Hustle winner, and we're going to have one of those here at the end of this contest. We'll pick one of the members of the Marion Local Flyers as Blockberger in trouble on first down is going to take off and run to the 15-yard line before he is hit. And as we mentioned, there are 3 Marion Local defenders getting in there on the tackle as Blockberger picks up about 4 on the ground.
I'm going down through the drive chart tonight, just noting the 8-9 play drives Coldwater has had with nothing to show for it. Just showing how stingy this Marion Local defense has been all evening.
Blockberger with the catch, and there, Harlemer's saying he caught it. And I think they gave it to him. Touchdown. So an iOS touchdown for the Cavaliers. This kind of took everyone by surprise. Here's another look at it. Lee's recipe replay, and you see Harlemer. I mean, it looks like a catch from this angle, and AJ did a great job. Here's another look at it.
And just looking for space. Had his man, and sees a little space in there. He's got it.
Coldwater Lumber extra point on the way as Couchot knocks that one through. So 29 seconds left in this one, and Coldwater makes it a little closer, but a 35-14 lead for Marion Local here at Booster Stadium. Tonight's presenting sponsor is the People's Bank. We are invested in the communities we serve. Your bank, your way. And tonight's Marion Local premier sponsor is OPAC in Osgood. For all your industrial painting, staining, and assembly needs, call OPAC. 29 seconds left in this one, 35-14, Marion Local on top. Patrick Hamler, Garrett Mansfield here with you, and the yardage situation doesn't quite reflect the score in this one.
Yeah, Patrick, that 80-yard drive that took 14 plays ended in the 14-yard touchdown for Coldwater. They now have the upper hand, 336 to 314 in total yard. That's a unofficial estimate, but it really goes down to the point I was making before that touchdown. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Coldwater drives that were 8 or 9 plays or longer that did not result in points.
Credit to Marion Local's somewhat bend but don't break approach. I know not every coach is a fan of that particular nomenclature, but that is what Marion Local demonstrated, and you saw there were a couple of those really good Coldwater drives that ended with Marion Local able to intercept the football. So those were certainly significant, and again, you got to think if Coldwater could have gotten touchdowns on those drives, the complexion of this one would be a lot different. But you know what they say about ifs, ands, and buts, and here we are at 35-14.
And they'll just have to kneel this one out.
So that will be the final play of this one as Marion Local wins their 17th MAC championship, their 10th one outright, and another one in the row for Marion Local. We're back to wrap this one up. The Flyers win 35-14 on WOSN. Welcome back. It's time to announce the Stolly Insurance Hustle Award winner. Check out highlights of tonight's Stolly Hustle Award winner on the WOSN YouTube page. Marion Local with the 35-14 win over Coldwater. And the Stolly Hustle Award winner tonight is the quarterback for the Flyers, Justin Knopf. A phenomenal performance overall through the air tonight.
4 touchdowns for him. You mentioned a couple times throughout the night as the Flyers take the MAC championship here tonight. 10-0, undefeated regular season. Playoffs begin next week throughout the entire state of Ohio. But Knopf, he had 4 throws, at least of over 30 yards. 3 of them ended in touchdowns, including a big one of 56 yards over the middle of the Holscher. That really broke the 7-7 tie early in the game, and that would go a long way. And that was going to allow Marion Local, after halftime, to take the football, go down, score, take a 2-touchdown lead. But a lot of it came from Knopf and running the football, throwing the ball. He just did little things that really got the defense out of position to make those big plays happen. A lot of things that maybe most of us won't even see, won't even notice, but those little nuances that certainly make big differences, because there were some wide open throws that he was able to open up.
Justin Knopf, our Stolly Hustle Award winner, player of the game, as we see the Marion Local Flyers heading off the field. Most of them, the seniors, the class of 2024 for the Marion Local Flyers, have never lost a regular season game. That becomes official tonight with their victory over the Coldwater Cavaliers. And so we wait a couple of days to find out who each of these teams will play in the postseason. We know they'll both have home games, Coldwater and Marion Local, both entertaining whoever comes into Cavalier Stadium, Booster Stadium next week. And it should be another fun ride as we watch Marion Local, Coldwater, possibly Versailles, making another run pretty close to the state championship. What a phenomenal season for the Marion Local Flyers, and they're just over halfway done, it seems like, as they have the last couple of years. And what they've done. That is going to wrap up our coverage of tonight's football contest for WOSN. I want to thank our phenomenal staff for helping us out here tonight. Wayne Getz, Kelsey Beimer, Derek Henry, Kelly Getz back in master control. Garrett Mansfield doing a great job with keeping all the stats straight and making sure we know what the drives are. And I'm Patrick Hamler. Thank you so much for watching our contest tonight. Again, the final, Marion Local 35, Coldwater 14. Good night, everyone, from Maria Stein.